It's another beautiful Monday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I never do this alone. I have my ladies here. Hi, ladies.
Good morning.
In the building.
In the building.
How was your weekend?
My weekend was very, very nice. I had a business meeting on Saturday and I rested well yesterday because I have a full week of activities this week.
Wow.
So I woke up bright and early. Well, today I decided to come and start washing bathroom in the morning.
What happened?
That's cool.
But I'm well rested. I thank God. I'm very, very grateful to be
You look
here.
great.
Thank you.
How are you doing, Topsy?
I'm very, very good. I'm extremely excited
Eventful
about
weekend. Lots of jobs this
pretty
weekend.
eventful weekend. From Friday, watching a movie and intelligent conversation, to Saturday, 2 brides, and I feel so. We were four in 4 locations, and everybody was on time. Even my bride was like and everybody was on time. I was worried about taking 2 jobs the same day, but God just made it work, and it was a really
Because you have
beautiful
competent
time.
hands.
Yes, I'm happy to finally have competent hands that I can
Fantastic.
trust.
Well done.
It's been a long journey here.
But that's how it is now.
Yes,
Well done.
I know.
Well done.
Yeah, but there's a lady called Bontricia Bastian. I didn't learn much of her in terms of skills concerning makeup, but she taught me a lot about being an educator. In terms of makeup, she's an internationally trained and trainee on educating people as being an educative makeup artist. She's currently, yesterday she died of lung cancer. Her heart and her lungs passed out. But what I just thought of was, she lived. She lived a life impacting lives across the world.
Fantastic.
She lived well. And no matter when we think we'll die or we don't die, live your life well. Touch lives positively. Everybody, there were like 400 and something messages in 10 minutes. All around the world, from Nigeria, everybody was just talking. She had touched lives.
Wow.
That's
Fantastic.
most important.
That's loaded. She died empty.
That's good.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How are you doing? And this body thing. What do you call it?
Henna.
Somebody
Henna.
called me out in church yesterday. Said, you don't look like a serious Christian.
You're
I said,
I've
always been, excuse me, I've always been a radical person. In anything I do, you see that craziness, I don't hide it.
So did you
So my
change it though? But
weekend-
it's not the design
No,
that was there
no.
last week.
No, same
No,
design.
I think it has
Same
cleaned out
design.
because it was looking like black patches.
Yeah, so it's
just look like
becoming
patches.
more, So the highlight for my weekend was on Saturday. I had a counseling session with a couple looking to get married. They had issues, and I was happy that the guy, most times the ladies want to go they are open to these counselings, but the men don't want to. And the guy accepted to come for it, and I just pray that they take in what I have told them to do and all of that, and they get better.
Deaconess in action.
How are you?
The highlight of my weekend was the Ramadan lecture.
Oh, really?
TVC hosted on
How was it?
On Saturday. I mean, I must give a shout out to Mr. Lukman Musa. He did an amazing job.
Wow.
I mean, I was like, oh my goodness, see people trooping in, like it's crazy. We're looking for seats, we're like begging, people were snatching seats. I mean, we had planned for I think 200 or 300 people. I think we got at least not less than 700 people there.
Whoa.
Like, people just started trooping in. People trooping in. I mean, he got some real scholars, some real Islamic scholars, and everybody heard those names and they were coming in. And I mean, I must apologize to those who fought hard to get seats on Saturday. Sorry, it was our first lecture. We didn't expect that much people. But it was an amazing turnout. I mean, we're so impressed. We had gifts for them, but we couldn't even give out the gifts because who will we give when we're expecting X amount? And
This was your Ramadan lecture that you people were advertising as first annual. Is there anything like first annual?
Yeah, thank you. it was an error on our part. It was like very first one, but I think next time we'll probably just sit the entire field, because it was really, really, really impressive. And the team, commercial, everybody did an amazing job.
Well
thank
done,
you so much.
TVC.
Yeah,
Well done.
I was really proud of the
Management
team.
is proud of you.
Andrew knows your name. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll look at the front pages of the newspaper. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Right, we're going to start with The Nation today because it's advertisement on Punch. Police, Saraki Ahmed indicted for offer robbery. Picture here of the suspects that were arrested. One of the kingpins, Ayoade Akimbosun, been arrested by the police here. The list of all their names are here, all the lists are here. Banks' daily CBN loans hit 216 billion naira. INEC to make card reader mandatory for 2019 polls. Buhari, Saraki, Obasanjo, Tinubu, others mourn Akombi. Ekiti shooting, Bamidele moves to Lagos. I think this is the only paper that has Bamidele's story. So let's just take it here.
He's the Okoyemi Bamidele, that's his name. He's on the campaign train of former governor and former minister Fayemi. And while they were having a campaign on, this happened on Saturday, I think, or Friday, the way they describe the policeman, in fact, they're saying that he's not a proper policeman.
Okay.
Was trying to shoot in the air, I think, to scare the crowd away, and shot at Bamidele. Now, 2 bullets. They're accusing. So, former Governor Fayemi is saying that the policeman aimed at him and missed him and hit Bamidele. Governor Fayose is saying that they are looking for something to hang on him.
Hey.
That's, you know.
Well, I've not heard Governor Fayose's been any allegations against him in this. I've not even. Yes, he has made comments on it, but I don't think anybody has accused him of anything. But the man in
72.
the man in question, the police, was actually assigned to a different state. So they were still wondering how in the world did he make it to the.
He has been arrested.
He has been arrested. Yes.
Is there no way we can actually test, like have a psychiatric test for these police officers on how to handle?
But this one, they're suspecting.
Is suspicious.
They're
bullets.
they're suspecting that it was an assassination attempt.
So
Yes.
you can't be shooting up and it lands on somebody.
No, but they say that the way the bullets go up is the way they come back down. There's
the force.
Potent.
Okay.
I wanted to mention that Bamidele has been moved to a hospital in Lagos. The 2 bullets have been removed.
Okay.
Yes, the surgery happened in Ekiti Teaching
Yeah.
Hospital.
So I have the INEC story. They've said that the card reader will be mandatory for the conduct of 2019 elections, that it helps them to get confirmed that the PVC was actually given to the individual holders by INEC, and to help them to make sure that they are, get their identity is authenticated.
Right.
And so the commission has decided to, upgrade the card reader so that we don't have issues
How
during
come we
elections.
have electronic card readers for checking my identity, but you don't have electronic voting?
Yeah, that's.
I think that
Question
we
for the
didn't have it
government.
for last year. The last election, we didn't have electronic card reader. So now that we're having, maybe the next one, by 2023, we would have electronic
Hopefully.
voting.
Moving on to
We're progressing.
Vanguard of a bank robbery. Why we must squeeze Saraki Kwara Governor Police. Sorry, why we must squeeze Saraki and the Kwara Governor, says police. And Vanguard has details of the case by the police and the comments by the governor of Kwara State and the Senate President Saraki. So you can get Vanguard to get the details. Let's move on to APC Congress. Oyegu stops inauguration of Tinubu Amechi-backed state ESCOs. Group heads to court as federal government okays new excise rate for tobacco, alcohol, beverages. Ibeto Cement in historic reverse merger set for U.S. exchange listing. Ekiti shootings, Fayose wants to liquidate me, says Fayemi. Pioneer ICPC chair Akombi dies, buried as Buhari, Saraki, Governor Ahmed, others mourn. Any stories there? Should we take let's take the Saraki story?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Might as well.
I want to take the DSS story.
Oh, yeah.
I
I didn't read that. Go ahead.
Because we've...
DSS withdraws security details
Yes.
to
So
Saraki
they've
and
been
Dogara.
trying to have reconciliation between the new PDP and within the APC.
Okay.
But we now have this information that the DSS has withdrawn security officials from Saraki, Dogara. And they also mentioned that they will not resume today, so they will have no DSS security
No, it wasn't a
detail.
complete removal. There was
Yeah,
the reduced numbers.
the numbers.
So I think it was a total 10 of them. 10 from Dogara, 5 from Saraki. No, 5 from the deputy.
Okay.
And there
So
wasn't
the
people. Go ahead.
Vanguard people are saying that they think that they tried to get information from DSS, but that there is no, they didn't have a spokesperson. The DSS don't have a media spokesperson, so they couldn't confirm what is going on.
Since
And they are also saying that
Maggie
based
Oga.
on this drama taking place, it might affect the reconciliation move.
So just quickly linking it to the major headline, because it is Saraki. You remember Senate President Saraki, last week or 2 weeks ago, shouted out on the floor of the Senate that they were going to frame him. His Governor Ahmed of Kwara State, had informed him that some criminals from Kwara were being taken to Abuja and they were going to mention his name. Yeah. Anyway, what has happened now, the IG of police has invited him for questioning.
Yes.
Because some of the suspected armed youth that carried out the armed robbery mentioned his name and the name of the governor as sponsors for their weaponry. They also discovered a car with the Saraki plate number, although it wasn't a proper registered plate, it was a paper plate. Okay, so they're inviting Saraki to answer questions.
Let me just read the headlines for New Telegraph. Saraki, governor gave us firearms, money and vehicles to suspects. Senate President Ahmed, allegation is baseless. Police summoned Saraki. DSS withdraws 11 operatives attached to Senate President. Ahmed's chief of staff, personal assistant, arrested. Headsmen killed 6 children, 19 others in Benue. So to continue that story, okay, I'm not even sure what I would say.
Well, okay, so there have been mutterings. There have been mutterings actually that the officials were withdrawn because the police has asked Saraki to come for, yes. To
okay, so this is conspiracy theory. Yes. But the other conspiracy is that the Senate, led by Saraki, had invited the IGP 3 times and he didn't
He
come.
did not go.
Now it is payback time where Saraki is now being invited. I said second conspiracy. They are different ones. I'm not going even on to the third one. But let me take the Benue killings. Okay. So yesterday, it was a Black Sunday again in Benue State, where in different communities, 31 people were killed. They're by suspected Fulani headsmen. They said we should be removing the Fulani. They said first headsmen believed to be of Fulani extraction. What's the difference?
Okay, but
just take away the Fulani.
Let's just stick to headsmen. 50 houses were raised.
Yeah, when is this going to stop? Because I don't know the way police offices are arranged in those areas, but how long does it take to get police officials to areas where we know is prone to violence? Benue is not new to violence. It's prone to violence. Can we just be better?
The landmass is huge,
Let's move on to Daily Sun. Police invite Saraki over of a robbery. Foremost female accountant, Olakunrin, dies at 80. Pencom hike in severance allowance sparks controversy. Nigerians to pay more for cigarettes, alcohol from today. Yay. Imo Guba, Okorocha's son-in-law, slows down on bid. This cigarette thing, who has that story?
I have the story. So the Minister of Finance in Abuja yesterday has come out to say that Nigerians will begin to pay more now for alcohol and cigarettes because of the new excise duty rates that was approved by the president
90 days ago.
Just kill us already.
So, but now they've given a 3-year period so that the amount is not as much. The effect, exactly.
Gradually.
There's a moderation on the amount that
Just kill us already. Finance minister.
Hold
on. Look, the Bible says, let me quote Bible on alcohol.
Part of her KPI is to generate revenue.
Thank you.
Right?
So that's her job.
Whether you like it or not, at some
she has
point,
to generate money. And
so
this is, we smoked 20 million sticks of cigarettes. Imagine if you are if we are making 39, maybe let's say 5 kobo extra on that. That's a big deal for us. We're looking for ways to make money.
You drink also. If you, I mean,
no, it's alcohol. It's not something. Alcohol. It's killing people. Don't smoke again if it's paining you.
Dissuade people from smoking as such and drinking.
Me, what I even wanted to say, the Bible says that when a man is sorrowful, you give him some alcohol.
Chineke.
But now, when it is too expensive for the rich, for the poor, he's already sorrowful because of his poor state. He can't even afford alcohol.
Okay, our final paper this morning is Nigerian Tribune of a bank robbery. Police invite Saraki, says suspects indicted him. So we'd already talked about that. New alcoholic drinks, tobacco excise duty kicks off today. Olakunrin, 80 slums dies during church service.
What a good way to go.
No card reader, no election in 2019. I think we've taken most of the stories here.
The female...
I wanted to mention that most of the killed in Benue were children who were burnt in their houses. There was also a pregnant woman who was captured. So we're women on this seat. We're just asking the presidency, when will these killings end?
On that note, we have to take a break now. When we come back, our hot topic. We discuss 4 years. Is it too small for anyone to make a difference in the office? Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
So, thanks for staying with us. According to reports that we read, our Vice President, Yemi Osinbajo, recently stated that a 4-year tenure is too small for anyone in public office to deliver because there are many plans there are many things to deliver during that time. He, however, also said the administration wanted to further ahead in terms of manufacturing, which cannot be developed overnight. Now, what are your thoughts on this? You can call us on 070-806-6814. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. It's important that we note that in that same speech, in that same remarks, he did say that with 4 years, you can actually, he did imply that with 4 years, you can actually do a lot. So
when you have a good team.
When you have a good team. So it's not as he's saying that you can't achieve much in 4 years. That's what we're discussing, not him, but discussing the issue that, because if we look around and we see that, okay, things are somewhat going on a slow pace for the average man.
Okay.
So in our view, do we think he's right in that it's really difficult to make huge changes in 4 years? Or do we agree that, hey, you can actually make it happen?
Oga, you have had 3 years. What have you people done? Or are you implying
Google is your friend, Jumoke.
that you do not have a strong team? Since you say you can do some things.
But he actually mentioned that he has a good team.
He actually did say that.
In the first
and our
place.
president,
What have you done?
did you listen to the president's speech recently?
And that was-
when he spoke.
Yes, I listened to the speech.
Yes,
So tell me what they have done
in view of that.
on ground.
Hold
not
on.
prototype.
Hold on. In the first place, in the first year of presidency, it's usually more like a learning curve. They're just coming into the office. The last year is an election year. So that puts the politicians back into re-election mode, leaving them just 2 years to properly work. Let us be realistic. The first year, they're just settling down.
Right.
Secondly, most governments do not come in continuum. And that means that by the time you get into office, you will reappraise the plans on ground before setting up your own plans.
This is
so
your view.
That's my view.
Okay. All
That's
right.
my view. So it's going to
your
take a
view.
while.
I believe that we've seen a model work in Lagos State. We've seen that you don't need 4 years to make a visible difference.
Down.
No.
In 6
I
months.
disagree.
Molayo, let me
First
finish my
I
point. Can I
disagree,
just
but
finish
go
my
ahead,
point?
please finish.
Within the first 6 months, and I'm not saying that we first complained that our governor in Lagos State, somebody stopped a lot of the things that the previous administration was doing because we wanted to do the same review and evaluation. But within that 6 months, he commissioned the one that we could see. It is not about just working. You have to be seen to be working. You have to win the trust of the people. Okay, we saw all the major setbacks on the roads that reduced traffic, as in magically reduced traffic. We could see a few things. We're not asking for things that are grand. And we know that when the administration was coming into power, this administration was coming into power as for the change mantra. They promised us heaven and earth.
So
then they got into power and it took 6 months to constitute a cabinet.
We hear that every time. It took 6 months to constitute. But you cannot compare Lagos State.
I wanted to say that.
They had a foundation. Every time when the president keeps saying, 16 years of rot, people say, you can't keep saying going back.
I agree.
You're hanging there. Because when former governor Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu was governor, he wasn't much initially liked because there were a lot of things he had to start over from scratch.
Okay.
Now, Fashola came in and built on that. Ambode came in as building on that. So he didn't have to deal with creating LASMA. Ambode didn't have to worry about that because there was a structure already on ground where we had traffic lights already and we had a system. So there are other things you have to build on. So you cannot assume the issue with the president, the federal government is that they have serious infrastructural.
We agree. We had no doubts, and they had no doubt about the problems. They wouldn't have been voted for if there wasn't problems. We agree. But what I say is that there are things that would affect everybody that will be visible. When they did the airport road, everybody applauded it. Even Jumoke could not lie about that. She had to admit that they gave us a timeline and they kept to it.
Okay.
What we're saying is, give a timeline. Tell us what you will do.
Did you mean
Let
wrong
us
way?
see how
Did you mean
the
wrong way? Wrong way.
Let us see how you're doing it.
Okay.
We're not seeing that. We're seeing them saying, we've inaugurated, we have signed.
That's not the first
No,
thing.
that's not
Excuse
fair.
me.
That's not fair.
First few months, in fact, almost a year, once the ministers were appointed, Minister of Environment, now Deputy General of the UN, went to Ogoni land. They said they were going to do Ogoni cleanup. Have they started 3 years after?
Okay.
Now, a lot of commissionings that are being done by this government were projects initiated by the last president. Let me mention them. The light railway was started and paid for by the Jonathan government. So hold on, may I finish? If the vice president currently knows that 4 years is not enough, then we should have given Jonathan time to finish the projects that he started.
Hang it. Would you prefer that the government comes in and totally disrupt
That's not what I'm saying.
Hang it there.
No.
Let me finish.
That question isn't valid.
No.
It's not valid.
I'm asking you based on what you just said.
What
you're saying is that they continued a project.
So
you'd
I'm
rather
saying
they not continue the project.
What I would rather, if he knew that 4 years was not enough, then they should have allow Jonathan to finish what he started.
To steal all the money that has been taken.
Billions of money.
Was
Isn't
stolen.
there stealing happening?
Yes, there's stealing. That's a different. Absolutely.
Exactly.
There is still money still.
So everything you point to as being bad under the Jonathan government is also happening under this government.
Okay, so point let me
According to the provision of the Constitution has given 4 years, 2 terms of 4 years each, max, for a particular government. That tells you, excuse me.
4 years, not 2 terms of 4 years. They have opportunity to go for a re-election.
That is what I'm
saying. They make it look
saying.
like they have a right to 8 years.
No, maximum. That's why I said maximum. So you can either, if you don't get elected for the second term, no problem. But within that 4 years, we also remember that we operate a democratic system of government where things take time. There's due process to be followed. You can come with all of your dreams and everything you want to achieve, and there are people there who you have to, it has to be passed into a bill, it has to be signed by the government
4 years,
and all of that. So it takes a while. It takes a while. It's democracy.
I want to always be objective about everything. So I understand the rot they met there. And I understand that they met an economy that was looking like it was going to collapse. And then it collapsed immediately they got into power. So you met crises on ground. But you saw economic changes that were possible within the first 6 months to stem the crisis that happened. Within the first 6 months, Soludo was shouting, can you deregulate this entire sector? Can we start getting dollar easily? It is going to go higher. And we were watching. It went higher. I said, no, hold on to the exchange rate. Let us hold on to the exchange rate. They were giving exchange rate of 199 for pilgrims. When businesses are suffering. I am saying that the government could do.
The forex now.
I believe the government could do enough within 4 years to make people believe that I can try you with the next 4 years of my life and know that I will be better off.
I don't think the vice president said otherwise. I actually believe he said that you can do enough.
He said
with
a good team. He said with a good team.
Yes.
Now, within this administration, we have seen a team that has embarrassed the president.
Always.
Consistently, and have not been fired.
No,
I am a believer that you need a good team. You are as strong as the 5 people around you. So if you have people around you that your wife is saying,
okay, I have a call.
there's a kalbao.
All right.
I suspect you.
Okay, let me take this call. Olade, are you still there?
Yes.
Thanks for calling, Olade. Go ahead, please.
All right. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
I've listened to this issue of 4 years is not enough, or 4 years is too short a time. But I want to take Jumoke on. If we talk about the issue of, we should have given Jonathan enough time to finish what he started. What is wrong in this present administration finishing what Jonathan started? That's the first thing.
Nothing.
Number 2, do you remember how many years Jonathan had? And yet he couldn't finish what he himself started.
4 years.
So government must continue regardless of who is there. And that is what governance is all about. It doesn't matter who started something.
I
What
agree.
matters is, has it been completed? And secondly,
I agree. May I go, Tokwe, may I go? I agreed. So that's exactly what I'm saying. I was against President Jonathan. I voted COA because I saw the corruption and the wrath under him. I'm just saying that based on what the vice president is saying, then we could have continued with Jonathan then and let him finish what he started. Hold on, Tokwe. What did they promise us? Oh, they knew everything Jonathan was doing wrong. As Jumoke was saying it, they were agreeing with me at the time. They promised us security.
Yes.
How have they improved security in 3 years? And at the time when they were promising us, they were making the promises based on a 4-year term. They promised us what was their economy? How have they improved the economy? They knew all the problems. They came in, they were supposed to come and solve the problem. What's their blueprint?
All right, let me let you mark it.
Now, IMF is saying
that within Lagos State, and this is where I stay, so this is what I'm going to use as an example. Immediately they came in, they knew the time frame. We're waiting for buses, but we have the bus stations. We can see what is going on. The hospitals the government can say that, okay, we want to do hospitals or we want to do security. Let us see it being done. We have Boko Haram under check to a large extent. Then we have this behemoth that is killing people every day called herdsmen.
If we know how much money that was, I mean, I don't have the figures, but we know the amount of money that was stolen during the last administration. Amount of people who
agree that they met a terrible system. I'm saying that we can see something. I'm saying that we can see something.
May not compare to money. Babashe and Mena combined together is not enough. So it's not a fraction of what money. Yes. So the point is that I think, yes, Nigerians are cynical. There's a lot of frustration in the land. But at some point, we need to sit back and be able to remove the chaff from the wheat and say what exactly is being done, and be objective in what we're talking about. All right, let's go on a break. There are other issues, and a major issue of power. We're going to bring in our guests. It's not all about what's the government doing. It's what are they doing exactly in the sector power. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So there have been continuous reports on the increase of electricity bills in Nigeria. Recently, Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila mentioned in the House in one of the sittings that a bill to amend the Electric Power Sector Reform Act so as to prohibit and criminalize estimated billings by the electric distribution companies, and to also provide compulsory installation of prepaid meters to all power consumers in Nigeria should be passed. Joining us on the show is Executive Director, Research and Advocacy, Association of Nigerian Electricity Distribution, Mr. Sunday Odunton. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much.
It's always a pleasure having you. You can call us on 070-806-6814. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. We know there's a lot of work and investment going in the power generation. We've even seen difference in generation. We've seen that many people say they have electricity. But the issue now is in the area of billing. How am I being billed? Some are still getting their estimated billing. What is being done for the fact that people are not getting their meters? So there's power available, but it's the regulating of it that is an issue now. So could you give us an update? What is your organization doing to help to alleviate these issues of estimated billing?
Thank you very much, Morayo. First of all, let me say that I was there about 2 years and 4 months ago.
Okay.
And it's always a pleasure when I'm here. It's like an opportunity to be a polygamist for 30 minutes. So I'm your temporary husband for the next 30 minutes. That's a good one, Pani.
Okay, no problem.
However, you have confirmed from what you said that in between the time I came here last and now, there has been an improvement in the sector.
Yes. Please tell Jumoke because she said they didn't do anything.
All over.
It's part of it.
And Jumoke also knows that in her house, her area, there's an improvement.
Of course.
So we thank God for that.
Government.
Now, talking about the issue of criminalization of estimated billing,
right?
It's something I think the lawmakers need to have a second look at, because it will not help the nation. And I will explain why. First of all, we need to understand that when we're talking about estimated billing, we're talking about customers that are not metered. And truly, customers need to have meters. Yes. In Nigeria, most people even prefer prepaid meter. But when they talk about meter, people talk about prepaid meter. It's not just about prepaid meter. we have smart meters that are not prepaid. They are as good as prepaid. Prepaid is just about you paying before and pay as you go. Now, we need to understand the background where we're coming from, what the situation was in this country. First of all, the issue of metering gap dated as far back as 1951, during the days of ECN. And ideally, when you build a new house, in those days of NEPA or ECN or PACN, they should come and connect you just before you move in and give you a brand new meter and do the
Connection.
Yes. But what we've seen over the years, people even pay for their cables to connect to the grid. And people are connected without meters. So that then created that huge metering gap. And I'm not giving excuses. But let me even start by saying this. I want to sincerely apologize to Nigerians who have been given excessive billings and all these crazy billings over the years.
Sir.
There's no excuse for that.
Sir.
Now, let me explain how we are where we are now. So when we came on board on the 1st of November 2013. Yes. But before then, in 2002, the federal government then made some attempts to provide prepaid meter. The program was called NPPMP. That's National Prepaid Metering Program. But that program failed. Because of corruption,
yes, I need you to
lack of coordination and so on. So now, after taking over, the first problem was that there was no accurate census. So the issue of the metering gap was not really known. When we took over, the agreement signed by our investors with the federal government was to provide 1.7 million meters in 5 years, each for the whole 11 discos. Now, we later found out that the metering gap was more than 5 million. As of today, we have done 1.5 million meters.
Okay, sir.
But even that is not anywhere near what we need. Now, the issue I need to point out, which is very critical, is that there are some things we need to be aware of. There are commercial challenges, there are practical challenges. First, let me talk about commercial challenges.
Sir, hold on. I have a question for you. I have a question for you, sir. Yes, I want to go there, sir.
Let me let her jump in.
I have a question for you, sir. You are aware that the minimum wage of an average Nigerian is 18,000, and some people even earn less than 18,000. Now, before the prices, electricity price was increased, because right now people are getting as much as 20,000, 35,000 monthly. It was 5,000 to 10,000 naira. So how do you expect a Nigerian to pay for light and still have money to do other things? Thank
you very much. That's a good question. But let me first of all tell you that the moment the government decided to privatize the entities, we are talking commercial, we're talking private.
We agree.
You have to talk, me, I'm a distributor.
Yes, you have to
and remember, there's a value chain, generation, transmission, and distribution.
Yes.
And as a distributor, like any other beer distributor who goes to the brewery to buy beer and sell to the end user. Today, I'm buying electricity at an average of 18.88 kobo. I'm only being allowed to sell the same for 31.56 kobo. Please, think about that.
Okay, sir.
Buying at 18 naira, selling at 31 naira. So talking about profitable, we are not profitable, we are in perpetual deficit.
I don't want to
talking about minimum wage, the truth of the matter is this. If we are to have 24-hour electricity and somebody who is on minimum wage has a one-bedroom flat, the person is expected to be paying about 11,000 naira for power alone. That is too much compared with what they're earning. That tells us something. The minimum wage is damn too low.
Okay,
and that's very matter for us in the sector.
See, I want your business to be profitable. I want you to leave deficit level because I want more power. However, is it fair for me to pay for what I did not consume?
No, it is not.
That's the issue. The issue is my parents don't have prepaid meter. So when the transformer goes bad, even when it is bad, obviously bad for 3 months, they don't have power. They will still get bills. They will still be forced to pay, even when the power holding company and distributor company knows that they did not supply them power for 3 months. That is outside. Number two.
So I want him to answer that one because that's very critical. A lot of people are
critical. So let me tell Nigeria, the first thing we need to be aware of, anytime your property is not occupied, a lot of people travel or they are not there or the property is empty, they don't tell the disco. And I'm not
we're supposed to write them.
Write them?
Yes, please. That's important. But again, our own workers are also part of the problem. Because the marketer serving your area knows when your transformer is down that you don't have light.
So why is he sending me bill?
The person is supposed to write, those who are preparing the bill, the billing department, or those who are preparing the billing, are separate, right? Those who come to your house, the marketers are supposed to notify the head office, the technical, to come and repair your transformer, the billing people to let them know that they have not been power safe for the last few days. So when they are computing this, that will be put into consideration.
So what do I do when that happens to me?
Again,
and I have, like,
again, why I'm not giving excuses, I've said it before on this program, many fora. It will take me as a distributor to go to heaven and hire angels and malaika.
Okay.
These
so
are Nigerians.
Ask you a question now, because the Minister of Power has come on this couch and said that if we get an estimated billing, we should not pay.
Yes.
He said it on this couch.
But they cut
so should we stand by that and say we are not going to pay?
What I know is that if you get a bill, you have every right to contest your estimated bill.
Okay.
If you get a bill that you consider to be excessive,
okay,
contest it. What you are required to do by law, what you are required to do is to pay the equivalent of your uncontested bill. Say, for instance, last month you were given 5,000 and you paid.
Right.
Okay.
This month they give you 7,000 or whatever, right? Go and pay that 5,000, write a letter and say, I'm contesting this bill.
Right.
They have to look at it. They have an obligation to look at it. If your disco does not, you can report out to the regulator. That's why it's a heavily regulated industry.
And I know.
However, you need to understand the reason for crazy billing that you talk about.
But I don't want you to be in deficit. The last time you were
We
here,
are.
I asked you a question
Yes.
of the Jonathan government bailed out.
There was no bailout.
Yes, and
Please.
that was your answer at the
There was
time.
no bailout.
That
I
all the
can give you all
three
the-
bailouts
There
did
was no
not
bailout.
reach the distributors.
There was no bailout.
Yes, that's what you said the last time. I
Let me
remember
repeat,
very well.
there was no bailout.
Okay. The
In
current-
fact,
go ahead, sir.
Mr. Jonathan's government, when they privatized, I'm very sad for this nation, when they privatized, they signed an agreement with the incoming investors, who are also Nigerian, only one of them is not in Nigeria. They signed with them, and they promised to provide A, B, C, D. And they say, we'll do A, B, C, D, you do E, F, G, H. You're doing E, F, G, H, it's predicated upon all doing A, B, C, D.
Okay.
They did not do A, B, C, and D, which includes an injection of about 200 billion naira over 2 years.
Yes.
They didn't do that.
Yes.
And the current one, nobody has done that. So what we had was, at a point, they had to settle legacy gas debts. So the federal government, through the central bank, provided us with a loan. That loan was not meant for our own use on the system.
was
It
for
was
the
meant to
Gencos.
settle legacy debts
Okay.
that
right.
they had before
Let's go on a
privatization.
quick break. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So I know that NERC gave an approval recently for the deregulation of meter distribution. So hopefully private companies can actually begin to help to distribute. How has that gone and where are we on that?
Well, that one is kicking off now. It's called MAP, Meter Asset Providers. And for me, that's a very good thing, because that will increase the rollout of meters. But you need to understand that when I said we have over 4 million metering gap, to do, each disco can only do a maximum of 20,000 meters per month, maximum.
20,000.
For the technology that's involved and things that you need to do, you can only do a maximum of 20,000 per month. That means that
How many
all
discos
the
do we have?
11 disco, that's 220,000.
times 20.
That's 220,000 meters maximum that you can do. Which means that in a year, the best and maximum you can do is 2,640,000.
If we keep to us 2
If
years.
you keep to it, we'll make it.
Yes.
But we also need to understand the cost. At an average of about 70,000 naira, like for a 3-phase meter like that, that means that to do 1.7 million meters, you need 124 billion naira. To do the 4 million meters, you need 299 billion naira.
Okay.
And the allowable capex is only 305 billion naira. Allowable capex means the capital expenditure you are allowed to spend in your tariff as it's computed in 5 years is 305 billion naira. And that covers meters, transformers, network expansion.
But we are the ones that buy our meters now, sir. We buy our transformers.
We buy for a while. Subai hasn't holding for you. Subai, are you still there?
It's not you buying.
Malimo Show.
Yeah, good morning.
Please, thanks for calling. Go ahead.
Yes, please, Morayo, I'm happy the man has given an apology for not giving us a prepaid meter. But do you know this prepaid meter we are talking about? Most of the distribution office, they are collecting, they are charging our consumers 300,000. Let the man explain how much is prepaid meter.
76.
Some of your officers, they are collecting 300,000 per meter. He said,
well.
So, and in fact, that is number one. I want to ask again, please hold on, Morayo. I want to ask the man, what is the law guiding the distribution? That if you want to disconnect somebody's wire, I think that the law guiding that you have to give a kind of what's it called, disconnection note for at least 3 months. So let the man explain the law. The law guiding your people is disconnecting wire at randomly. Let him explain.
2 questions. Thank you very much. So cost of prepaid meter, and what's there any regulation in
the average cost of a prepaid meter is about 73,000 naira today.
Okay.
It wasn't as much before. The issue with cost and it had to do with the forest component of this thing. We have meter manufacturers in Nigeria, but most of the components are imported. So in a way, it's like
can it spread the payment?
I'm sure with what is going to happen now, that will be possible. But what the gentleman said, it would be nice when people like that call the studio. We can serve Nigeria better if you can, in a way, get in touch with the man. Let us have the details, because some people within the system are corrupt.
Okay.
The issue is about extortion going on that we do not know about.
Right.
And then the second question.
Second question. The issue of disconnection, it has been a very contentious thing. For you to be disconnected, there's supposed to be a notice. And there are procedures. If you look at your bill, there's explanation there as to when you're expected to pay. And it's that cut-off point that the thing will start to count. If you go through all the process, it's not automatic. It's not that I'll come to Jumoke and say, I give you 3 months notice to disconnect you. No. When you take it on, I serve you a bill, you're not paying, and then you come and tell me why you're not paying this, that. The whole process will take 90 days, okay, before you are supposed to be disconnected. And it's only in Nigeria, maybe a few African countries, that you find people being disconnected and they take the cables away. It's not really a neat thing. But you know what happened? They disconnect people. Thank you. Even here.
Stay in darkness.
It's a criminal thing.
Sir, hold on.
We do this thing.
Sir, hold on.
Electricity theft, electricity amount to 40% of what is going on.
We know that.
And that's part of the reason why estimated billing goes up.
There's a conspiracy theory by Nigerians, that you people have refused to bring out the prepaid meters because you want to be billing anyhow and extorting people.
Thank you very much.
The prepaid meters are for us to buy, right?
No,
it's
supposed to be free.
No, we even want to buy. Make it available. We'll buy.
What we need to buy.
Olabisi, I live like that. You're speaking for Nigerians.
Obiajulu, Olabisi is the same thing.
Obiajulu, Olabisi. Well, I like this Olabisi. Now, the truth of the matter is this. With the map coming on board, people will have to pay for their meters.
Good.
There'll be a way of spreading it. And I think anything that will give people meter is what our own desire.
Are you sure?
Oh, yes. I'll tell you something. Tope, when I meter you, I make more money. There's a revenue assurance coming from you. All this estimated bill you are talking about, even postpaid people, when I give them 5,000 naira, maximum that Nigeria pay is 2,000, maximum.
So who eats the
extra?
extra?
People don't even pay. So it's better for us to give you prepaid meter. You are not more interested in prepaid meter than us.
Our last call. Morning, are you there? Thanks for calling.
Very true.
Hello? Oh, he's gone.
So how do we deal with the part of when you move into a new area, you buy the pole, you buy the cable,
Transformer.
you will now pay the power holding officials, the EDCs, to help you come and connect you to the light. So what exactly is your responsibility to me?
It is our responsibility to, when you move into a new area, when you build your new mansion, we should be the one to connect you free of charge, provide you with the cables, and even give you meters if we have meters. But what happened, and when it comes to people having to repair their transformers, it's an anomaly, it's abnormality. And I would say, yes, it happens. Right. But when you see a disco having about 200, one of the discos recently when I visited had 297 complaints of the need for them to replace transformers, 297 transformers. Some of them cost about 4 million, some 3 million, depending on the
Right.
KVA. And that disco, what they have cannot do more than 30 at a time, which means the other, they have to wait.
They must wait.
Okay.
And waiting for how long?
Yeah.
So
Okay,
I
let's
do
take a few-
apologize and sincerely.
We accept your apology.
We don't want apology.
We want
don't
our
apologize.
prepared
Somewhere-
Ade John says, we buy our wire, pay for transformer, repair it. They disconnect it in anger, thereby spoiling the wire against reconnection. God is able says, if I pay that much for meter, can I go with it when I'm relocating? Adewi says, but NEPA came sometimes ago to tell me I was owing for those period of time that I did not use the NEPA light. Absolutely fraud. Yoruba girl says, since the beginning of this year, our light has been worse. We have light for just 2 to 4 hours, yet monthly we pay heavily for it in some
Shehu
part of
Adedeji.
Ketu,
Okay.
Alakpere, not prepaid yet.
All right, Shehu Adedeji says, please ask Mr. Dutan to tell us his opinion on permanent solution to 24 hours power supply in all parts of the country.
We have just few
Justin
seconds.
said, also, we have to wait for dry season for those saying they are having light to actually
Very
say we
true.
have light or not. Somebody else said, you guys saying power has improved. For your information, I have about 2 hours in the day and another 3 hours at night, giving a total of 5 hours in the 24
Unfortunately, we
hours.
don't have a lot of time, but let me give you a few seconds to...
Yes, thank you very much.
Respond.
Part of the solution to us having 24-hour electricity is, one, we have 3 parties to this. Government, operators, us, and consumers, people. Number one, for government and for operators, we need to generate more.
Okay.
For a country of over 180 million people, we don't even have a sense.
Distributing what we are generating right now.
Yeah.
Sorry?
We're not distributing what we are generating right now. We're generating 10,000, but only distributing 5,000.
We are not.
That's what the
We are
Minister
not.
of
Democrat,
Power
please.
said.
I think it's
You are
7,000.
You are misunderstanding Mr. Fashola.
Okay.
So I don't want to say here that what he said was not right. He told you here, and I watched the program, he said we have the capacity to generate, to churn out 7,000 megawatts.
Yes.
What we are doing is less than 5,000.
5,000.
Check it out. And this is on national
What's it
TV.
today?
So we are distributing, and the distribution capacity today is 6,288 megawatts.
Wow.
And that was as a result of a test done by TCN, which is the federal government entity. So that's
Unfortunately,
that.
we have to round up, but
We need to generate more, right?
Okay.
Then people need to have the habit of paying. There are too many thieves in Nigeria. That is the truth.
So
And we are not
protest-
addressing that.
protest
Power
prepaid
theft
meter,
is a major
prepaid
problem.
meter.
Prepaid-
People
what
need
is
to
prepaid
They
meter?
are
We have to round
bypassing
up.
prepaid meter. 30% of prepaid meters are bypassed. 30% of it.
Me, I know I
Even
did
here,
that bypass.
here,
And they
in
came
the
to and I
Kajajari.
paid 80,000
Wow.
naira. Trust me. So it's not, don't bypass, please. It's legal. I have to run off, but there's something that's always been on my mind to ask you people.
Yes.
When she's living 2 streets down from me, you take her light, and me, I have light. Maybe somebody just, what happens? Does somebody switch off something and switch it back on? When they take light, what does it mean to take light? What does that mean?
Check light.
When they take
When they
light,
take light, I always wonder.
Oh, you say shake light.
They
they take the
somebody
light.
switch off the light or they just take off my street. What exactly?
It is still part of the stage that we are technically in Nigeria.
Okay.
The gentleman of TCN who switches on light and off, in the course of doing that, they want to take light to Alakpere, for instance. They have to pass through the one for Ketu. So as it touches that, it goes to the other one. That one will just flash like that. It's passing through.
Can you imagine?
Imagine
To simplify it, it is
Unfortunately, that's
just
what we can-
passing through.
Okay,
Wow.
It's not the
That's all
ideal
we can
thing.
take. I hope we've learned a few things. Thank you so much for watching the show. Have a fabulous day. We'll see you tomorrow.
We still have to bring you back.
We have to bring you back.
Thank you.